from the Election Tribunal judgment of Friday in Osun governorship election, it brought a lot of questions to the fore, and people are asking the question, can we trust the BVAS? Where do we go from here? The interpretation that has been given to that judgment, and what the court said, that there was an overvoting relating to the final verdict that the former governor should be declared governor, declared governor, and a certificate of return be given to him. But now, it brings to the fore a whole lot of issues. Are you going to go to vote? It's important that you do that, and INEC has encouraged you to do so. There is a new deadline, away from the old deadline. Now there is a deadline of the 5th of February 2023 for you to go out there and cast the ballot. And you can't get to cast the ballot without getting your permanent voter card. All of a lot of issues tonight that we'll be bringing to you on the program. I have joining me someone who has a very deep experience and knowledge of our electoral process. Not only that, he was a senior INEC official, but a lawyer. I'm being joined by Mr. Mike Igini. Thank you so much, Mr. Igini, for joining
Sean, thank you for
It's good to have you in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much.
Yes.
A lot of grounds for us to cover tonight. A lot of education and information for Nigerians as relating to our election. But look, this is a good news for Nigeria. We've seen INEC do this continuously. They reviewed the process and they have shifted the goalposts yet again in the advantage of Nigerians. Also, they will be doing a mock accreditation across the country, and they selected areas where they will be doing this. It brings me to the question, the doubt that has come after that Osun election. What are your views, first and foremost, about the BVAS? Can we still trust the BVAS?
Thank you, Sheon. For me, I want to tell Nigerians that there's no time ever in the history of our struggle to have a better Nigeria through the electoral process, particularly the 10 years that I've spent in the commission before I left, that I have so much hope about the fact that whatever challenges we are going today will give us a promising tomorrow. On account of the BVAS, I will not go into details of what happened in Osun State with respect to the judgment. As you already have hinted, the election management body in the next few days will be doing a pilot test across the country. The BVAS will be used in the February election. So we must continue to talk. And of course, you know, since September last year, I have taken it up as a decision that having been part of helping to design this process, the BVAS that has brought tremendous energy of hope, integrity to our process, a system that have introduced electoral integrity to ensure that every vote of a Nigerian that is cast must be taken into account to determine who becomes what. Therefore, I want to tell Nigerians that don't lose sleep at all. Don't bother about whatever has happened, because I will give just one analogy, example, using where I worked last. But first, I saw a picture you showed there showing, no, I'm talking about the corridor. You saw the corridor. From the corridor, that was the corridor. Mm-hmm. We now move to the, what you call the BVAS.
The Z-pad.
The Z-pad, all right? Now, in Akwa Ibom, I use this example so that people can understand how the BVAS work. Because civil society, INEC must continue to educate Nigerians on the use of the BVAS, the beauty, what it has brought to our system. And that is that in Akwa Ibom, the 2019 election, there was issue of overvoting in a constituency. Now, the question is, using that corridors at that time, which is now the BVAS, now talking about the BVAS, the primary source to determine under the regime of the BVAS, the primary source to determine overvoting will always be the BVAS. How? You use the BVAS to verify, authenticate, and confirm every voter by virtue of Section 47 of the Act. Now, at the end of the poll, a presiding officer under Section 60, subsection 4 and 5, is enjoined to sort out the ballot papers, enter the total number of accredited voters as recorded on the BVAS on the form EC8A. After signing, endorsement by party agent, duplicate will be given to party agents. Now, in that constituency in Akwa Ibom, because it's the same technology, but this one is an advanced form, where, for instance, on the BVAS, you have 150 accredited voters. That will be entered into the form EC8A, and the duplicate will be given, then also be replicated under form EC60E that must be pasted there. Now, the unique thing about the BVAS is that as the presiding officer is working, whenever he's idle, or at the time at the end of the poll where he's busy sorting and counting, the BVAS itself will be uploading the total number of accredited voters to the central server, to the cloud, straight away. Now, at the end of the poll, total number of accredited voters is now 150. By virtue of Section 51 of the current 2022 Electoral Act, that have now replaced or repealed the previous Section 153, where voting was computed based on total number of registered voters. Today, it is now based on those who actually came, irrespective of the total number of registered. The consequence of that is that, having entered that, a presiding officer under the current BVAS regime is expected to upload the total number of accredited voters. But meanwhile, I've told you that while the BVAS was idle, it has uploaded. So, for instance, using the example of Akwa Ibom I'm talking about, you have 150 on the from EC8A. 100 had been uploaded by the BVAS to the server. Now, the presiding officer, who ought to have now ensured at the end of the poll that you make sure that the entire 150 is uploaded, perhaps didn't do that. But if, for example, you now came forward, like what happened in Akwa Ibom, people came, they were asking for
the details of
that.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I call the operation. First, audit the carrier, which is now the BVAS. When you audit and you find out that everything that has utterly been transmitted, then of course, I will now give you a report. So, but if I gave you a report of 100, if I gave you a report of 100, which was transmitted by the BVAS when it was idle, but I have failed to upload everything, if you look on the face of that document, report given to you, compare with the form EC8A duplicate be given to the party agent that is having 150, prima facie, it will appear as if there's an overvoting. However, if my attention is drawn to that, what I need to do is to go to the primary source. Now, if you come to the primary source, you will find, and we found, that 50 VIN number, because every voter in Nigeria, you have your unique VIN number. 50 accredited individuals with their unique VIN number, unique to them, had not been uploaded. So if you now add that to the 100 that had been uploaded to the, what you call the central server, it will give you 100.
So let's look.
So you cannot say there's an overvote in here. So that is with respect to the BVAS. So as a closing remark on the BVAS, Nigerians, go and collect your PVC. This BVAS has brought something new. Nobody can bypass it. is the primary source of anything that will happen on that day.
So if there is any foul play,
yes,
it will be identified.
Absolutely.
So
it has been thrown accountability to the process.
In the case of Osun now, you see what the judgment came about, and I don't want us to discuss what is in court. But
Absolutely.
Based on what the judgment of the court, which is being displayed here, there are deductions. Over 744, in 744 local polling units have been identified, and this was being. So this is what really caused the fear for some Nigerians who thought that if this was identified by the court, couldn't there be any problem? Just briefly.
Very quickly, I can tell you that the BVAS, we know that people are going to attack the BVAS. You know, there are many people who don't even want to hear about BVAS. We know that. So I know that with this, what I've been reading the last comment the last few days, most of us are totally uninformed. They are going to attack the BVAS. But the BVAS has come to stay. I am telling Nigerians that from what I know, every BVAS that has been whitelisted with the central server, if there is anything, you can go back and you find it's now the primary foundational source of any question about discrepancies with respect to total number of accredited voters.
So quickly also, and I want you to be very brief on this one. These are the figures that come out of INEC. 93 million, almost 94 million Nigerians have registered, and that's the figure we're taking into the election.
Correct.
But the breakdown shows that from the age of 18 to 35, we have 39.65%. From 35 years of age to 49, we have 35.7%. These two brackets are the largest. What does this distribution or this data tells us going into that election?
It shows to you that the youth of Nigeria will determine this coming election. In fact, if you display a pyramid there before then, two, it shows that because at the 176,846 polling unit, it will also be manned by the NYSC. Over 707 of them will now be the one to man 1,000, will now man the polling unit. Similarly, if you look at the register, one thing you must know about the register now is this. There are no longer bankable votes with this register anymore. At the end of every polling unit, a new register will be produced based on those who actually came. So all axes of electoral evil in Nigeria, where you rely on Section 53 and Section 49 of the Repeal Act, that for 20 years we fought for the repeal that have now been repealed, it is now game over. Because Section 47, Section 51 have taken over. So this register is clearly to show to you that no more bankable vote anymore. A new register will be produced in each of the polling units at the end of the poll. That is the implication of that register.
There is Senior Advocate Olisa Agbakoba and Mr. Walelani Pekun, Senior Advocate. Both of them have put forward an argument about the state of the electoral law and how a presidential candidate can be. In fact, Olisa Agbakoba was on this program and he said, look, there might be some issues here based on the provision of Section 34 of the Constitution of how a president can emerge from an election, highest number of votes cast, then secure 25% of votes cast into third of the 36 states plus the FCT. What is the confusion? In the state governorship election also, we will have this kind of mathematics play out.
Right. Well, for presidential, it will seem that by virtue of that section 134 subsection 2, that beyond having 25% in 24 states because of the conjunction and the federal capital territory, it will mean that you cannot be declared a winner of a presidential election if you do not have 25% in the federal capital territory, which means you actually have to have 25% in 25 states. With respect to governorship, which is very important, in fact, what's this issue that have been thrown up, I mean, we worked all of these things out over time, is one of those issues we need to deal with. And that is that in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you see, to avoid the problem of 1979, where we have to be doing computation, I was very delighted that Olisa Agbakoba deferred to INEC. So the data on the left you are seeing here, you could see that when you say 25% into third, what is the number of local government that you require that continue to tell in each of the states? So for Abia, you have 17 states, it has 11, that is 11.3. It has its fraction. Are we taking the upper limit or the lower limit? You can check all of this one. Now, this particular data table must be given to INEC to make that determination. Because what the law says, what does it actually mean? Mathematically, when you work it out, this is what you see. You are now seeing fraction. And in a highly contested election, how do you deal with this? It is the commission. It is the commission, not the court of law first.
That has the
that
prerogative
will have to do that. But however, if you look at the column on the right, it shows that out of the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 13 states, you do not have a problem with them at all. You now know that if a returning officer must be given this document when he is going to do his work, to show that Adamawa State, where you have 21 local government, you need to 25% in 14 local government. In Borno State, where you have 27 local government, you only must score 25% in 18 local government, not 17, not 16, not 15. Anything below 18 is unconstitutional. If you go to Delta, for instance, no, Delta is on this side. All right? So for these 13 states, Oyo, Ondo, Kebbi, Jigawa, Imo. Imo State, you need 18 local government, 25% in 18 local
before
government.
you can be declared governor.
Before you can be declared a governor. So everybody should know this now. But then this other one must be left for INEC
Mr. Igini,
to come up with a determination.
We need to go now. Your final word to a lot of Nigerians who are watching tonight.
Well, my final word to Nigerians is that go and collect your PVC. And that the whole embrace of democracy is essentially because it brings about participation and accountability in the process of human development. This election is one that I am so hopeful about based on the 2023 Act, INEC process and procedure. On the pyramid you can see there, from the headquarters, state and local government, it is clear that the success of this election will be a reflection of our collective value, because it is actually Nigerians that actually conduct election. At the level of local government, that is where all INEC who are staff, that's where their responsibility ends on election day. So I call on Nigerians to say, go and pick your PVC. This election, I am seeing election that will not likely to go into a rerun. It's going to be straightforward because Nigerians are fired up.
Thank you so much.
They want to vote. There's anger in the land. There's hunger in the land. People have so many reasons why they want to vote. And it is my hope that they must keep dates with on the 25th of February and on the 11th of March, where they must build, have new leaders to build a society where there will be opportunity for all and responsibility.
It's indeed, there's a lot more to talk about, but it's indeed a pleasure having you around. We will definitely have some more time to speak about it. Thank you so much indeed for coming around.